Hey, you listen to Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0. As always, I'm Grady, and live on Skype we got Josh.
Hey,
Before we get to Raw and SmackDown, we got some update on some mixed match challenge stuff. We have two teams officially announced. From Raw, we have Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman. Purely for the hilarity there, right?
yeah.
Even the one backstage interaction we got to see at the announcement was hilarious enough. Pretty much Alexa can fit under his arm. Looking forward to seeing what that team does together. And then Team Robes over on SmackDown with Charlotte and Bobby Roode teaming up. We'll wait and see. Obviously, it seemed like the audience was going to get to pick some of the teams, so we'll wait and see if that's for all of them or for some of them, or if they've just changed their mind altogether. It's WWE, I wouldn't be surprised. But the last Mixed Match Challenge news item is that because of a certain cruiserweight's illness, he has been replaced by Kurt Angle in the challenge.
We would need to. Are we talking about Enzo? Because if we are, we need to put quotation marks around the word illness.
Okay, yes it is Enzo. Put those quotation marks in.
And for all rights, he should lose the championship for what he's done.
Would you like to explain it?
Because he went out on New Year's and got completely and totally trashed. Wasted, whatever term you want to use, for being drunk out of his mind and had to go to the hospital. So much so that he was unable to come to Raw to perform for his title match on Monday.
There's no nice way to put it.
Yeah. He's done some stupid things, some unprofessional things. But this is by far the most unprofessional thing he could ever do. And he deserves to be punished for it. If they don't, then I don't know. I don't know what to do. Because they should, by all rights, absolutely bury him for this.
I also heard a piece tacked on to the end. I don't know if it was also a true piece where he actually did show up and attempted to get himself back on the card because he took himself out of hospital and they just sent him back. No matter what, this situation is not good for Enzo. And never really been the biggest Enzo fan myself, so I'll be quite happy to see the back of him if that's the way it all rolls. But as you said, something needs to happen. Something.
Yeah.
Instead, we got Goldust though. Positives.
Yeah, we got to go. We got Goldust working with the hard cruiserweights, so that's more interaction with the between the heavyweights and the cruiserweights, which needs to happen.
Which also included an appearance over on 205 Live as well. So I wouldn't be too. Sorry. Yep, there we go. Cedric Alexander and Goldust versus Drew Gulek and Arya Davari again on 205 Live. So, yeah, we'll see. Somebody, I believe, Gold is measured in a different weight, and by Gold's measurement, Goldust is actually technically under 205. But it depends what scales you're using. I don't expect him to be a permanent fixture, though.
No, I don't either. Yeah, I figure it'll be it's probably just one time off thing. But by the way Cedric was acting and stuff, you could tell he was breaking character a little bit because he was so excited for Goldust that I'm guessing Goldust was probably one of his childhood heroes.
Yeah, you could definitely see it throughout, and I don't know. I think it adds to the match more than anything, you know. It didn't make anything look goofy or stupid, but if we're doing something with Goldust, that's a thumbs up. If we're doing something with the Cruiserweight division that's not just limiting and stunting them, that's a thumbs up.
What we need an Intercontinental Open Challenge to be answered by Cedric Alexander.
Cedric's going to be too busy carrying that Cruiserweight title once we rip it off Enzo, isn't he?
Yeah, but still, it would be fun to see the Cruiserweight champion answer it.
Yeah.
Just because that would be different. And I really think it would be a bomb match.
Yeah.
In a good way.
It would be sick, as the kids of the 90s would say.
There are no kids of the 90s anymore. They're all adults.
Good point. Yeah, more interaction is always good. We've said that from the start. So you can never be disappointed when something like this happens, or if anything was to happen, like you keep proposing. This is going to be another one of those things where when it happens, you're going to shove it in my face and say, I told you so. But yeah, we'll hold off judgment for now. And I think the whole cruiserweight division may be going into a bit of a limbo state at the moment, awaiting Enzo, and possibly a decision to be made. Whether that's a rash decision made by the higher ups or whether it's a well thought out one will be wait to be seen. Jumping to the card, we'd also like to mention that Nia Jax decided to leave to go visit Enzo. Yeah, they're not dropping that. Somehow, someway, Enzo can screw up in the biggest way and they still don't drop the Nia part of the angle. Just nothing but grumbles from Josh. Asuka did go face-to-face with Alexa Bliss, though.
And I've heard rumors that she may win the championship before the Royal Rumble. To remove her from the Royal Rumble match, I guess to make it more unpredictable as who could win the match.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. It's not like Alexa Bliss has been doing all too much lately. And Asuka is eventually lined up to take that championship sooner or later. It's just really a matter of when. So yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised to see Asuka pick up the championship. And I
think it would, though, it would really bring down a potential moment for the Rumble match itself. Because there is a moment where if you remove the title from Charlotte on SmackDown, you could have Charlotte and Asuka standing in the ring at the same time. With a stare down. I
don't know, I feel like this Women's Royal Rumble match, which has been confirmed to be 30 competitors, is already going to be so chock full of, stare downs between people, returning people to get some pops, filling out of everybody, some potential NXT surprises, them doing every single spot for the first time with a female, that it's almost possible that even cool moments like that are just going to get lost because there are going to be so many of them. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is something that's going to happen. And I think with what they've been doing recently, where it's, we're going to have the first female Hell in a Cell, and we're going to have the first female this and the first female that, I'm definitely expecting a whole lot of everybody's favorite Rumble spots, but with women.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do a handstand and walk with it the way Kofi did. That's going to be difficult for them.
Good point. More likely
also
would be the
Spider Monkey spot.
True.
John Morrison.
I'd probably expect the being caught spot as a Rumble save, I guess. There'll be everybody gangs up on one person, that person all of a sudden goes on a huge hot streak. There'll probably be someone who gets a large number of eliminations, potentially Asuka if she's still in it. You'll have someone skinning the cat. There'll be everything.
Yeah. I personally wouldn't mind, say, the catch spot go to Nia catching the person, but instead of putting them back in the ring, she just drops them.
It'd be great if the title has changed and it is going to be Asuka, to see that with Bliss.
Yeah, Bliss gets thrown into Nia, who catches her, and she acts like she's going to put her back in the ring to keep her alive, but then just drops her.
Yep. The cracks are already forming. Nia wanted to team up with Braun for mixed match, and now Alexa got him. This is not going to be good happy campers. But we did get announced for that Women's Royal Rumble match, Sasha, Bayley, Paige, Mandy, Sonya, Carmella, Tamina, Lana, Liv, and Sarah to bring the total competitors up to 14. No surprises in the announcements, though.
No.
All people that we expected to be in there. There's very few active competitors, I think, not announced for it. It would probably take me too long to try to scroll through and find them at the moment, but I think we probably have enough roster members to fill out maybe 20, 21, 22-ish competitors, and then we'll just chalk the rest up with your Beths, your other returning legends. Eve, I'm gonna cringe a little bit and I'll say Kelly to buffer in there to, because E and reality shows and all that jazz.
I wouldn't mind seeing Kelly again.
I'll never mind seeing her again. It's more what is going to happen. I think if there's 10 open spots, so many potential surprises, to put it that way. They're not all going to be able to be special. And it's going to be hard to find a balance. When every third person coming out is a surprise or a legend or someone that would get classed as a legend, a former WWE superstar, it starts to lose the sheen a little bit. But I'm gonna hold it off. I'm gonna not prejudge this match, and I'm gonna go in hoping for the best, and we'll see on January 28th if it delivers. If we're jumping to the men of the roster, God, we're already like 20 minutes into this thing. Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe Intercontinental Championship.
It was a really, really fun match. I'm surprised it had an ending. But it was still a great match, and I don't think Joe is hurt because there was a controversial spot in the match, so he can still demand another match if he wants it. I still think that's going to be the match we'll get for the Intercontinental title at the Royal Rumble, and I think they'll up the ante with this added stipulations.
Something simple like a street fight or a no DQ, or something a little more complicated.
Personally, I think I'd prefer Last Man Standing.
Okay. Yeah. Then with the main event of Royal Rumble, not including the matches themselves, Brock Lesnar, Kane, bit of interaction.
Yeah. Braun's pretty much, I'm going to do this myself. I don't need any help. Kane, though, on the other hand, realized that he can't take down the Beast without Braun's help.
Yeah. It's definitely going to open up possibilities within the match. Because although he may need him, it still seems as though all three can very much align with any of the other three temporarily, and there's sort of no allegiances. Other than who gets cheered and who gets booed, there's actually no true good guys or bad guys, really. It's just three guys who want the championship. And I think that's probably the most interesting aspect of the match. And, fingers crossed, Kane walks out with the championship.
We all know who's winning the match.
Yeah, it's Kane.
Don't kid yourself.
Nope, it's Kane. Just a random Kane one.
Brock is retaining.
Yeah, everybody knows Brock is retaining. Something everybody didn't know, Finn Balor and the boys are back in town.
Yeah, it's alright. It gives them something to do. And if we have something developed from this, and it's not a one-off, hooray for them. If it's a one-off, oh well.
Everybody got what they wanted, and now everybody waits with bated breath to see if it's actually going to stick around or if it was just a, here, have your six-man tag, let's move on. Rightio, well, we're going to have to get into SmackDown soon, and to get into SmackDown that means we have to go through the entrance theme of the week. This week it is Chris Jericho's theme. By the time the show airs, he will have already had his Wrestle Kingdom matchup. So, maybe he won. Maybe he didn't. And you're back with Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady and Josh. We're on the SmackDown side of things now. McMahon, Brian, AJ, Kevin, Sammy. What the hell's going on?
There's definitely a blurred line here because you can't tell which authority figure is in what position. Definitely seems like Daniel Bryan has a screw loose as far as his demeanor now as it was, say, 2 months ago when he got attacked by Kane. But Shane McMahon is so blinded by his hatred of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn that he can't realize that he does have a vendetta against them.
It's developing into quite a convoluted pool of storylines.
And poor AJ has been centered right in the middle of it.
Lost 2 matches now.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. And now he's got to defend his title in a handicap match, which I assume would be the decision would be whoever actually pinned or made the champions submit would win the title as a result.
Oh no, I'm totally getting Lay Cool vibes here with dual champions.
I would be fine with that, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No. I would laugh hysterically over and over and over, and I would totally love it, but they'll never do it. I feel like the handicap stipulation, it almost stacks. It does. It stacks the deck against AJ, but with the authority figures floating around, still having weird interactions within this feud. I'm not going to be sure at all who's going to walk out of the Royal Rumble with the WWE Championship.
Yeah. There is one possible payoff for this whole shenanigan.
What you got?
It's an extremely unlikely event.
Okay, so
but at
20%
WrestleMania,
chance.
no, extremely unlikely, like 1%.
Okay.
But it's possible that this could be all leading to a WrestleMania match between Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan for control of SmackDown.
Yep. I give that more than 1% chance. I'd give it almost a 3% chance. But yeah, that's just a feeling. There's definitely nothing.
So does that mean it's going to happen because we gave Dolph Ziggler a 2% chance and he won the title?
Don't remind me about Dolph Ziggler. Let me just forget, okay? Let me just forget. But since you brought him up and now we have to talk about him, Xavier Woods beat Aiden English to advance further in this tournament.
I like how they're doing it to string it out long enough so it would lead to the finals being at the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
They did the first 2 matches last week, but then they only did 1 this week, and they'll have the rest of the final first round match next week, and then
semis.
And then the semis will probably be 1 a week leading up to the finals at the Royal Rumble, which has already been announced will happen at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So we know that one semi-final will be Jinder versus Xavier. Who's winning?
Jinder.
Going up against Bobby or the winner of Zack Ryder versus Mojo?
Well, obviously, if Jinder wins, then it's got to be Bobby.
And the eventual winner between Bobby and Jinder?
That's a difficult one. I'm going to go with Bobby Roode.
I'm going to go with Bobby Roode considering that Dolph Ziggler is still potentially on the horizon. And assuming that he's going to feed into this somehow. If he's 100% and completely gone, then I'd give an even chance to Jinder. I think the Ziggler factor is what tips it into Roode's favor more than anything.
Yeah, because there is a rumor that you will come back for WrestleMania.
I don't know. We'll see. Usos, Gable, Benjamin, SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Almost new champs.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, that was interesting. We had a referee make a mistake. Instant replay. Second referee points out first referee's mistake. Restarted match, and we still had the same champions. I still hope we get Rusev Day at Royal Rumble for the titles. But who knows? Who knows?
Oh, sorry,
I was counting on Benjamin and Gable actually winning the titles there, so we could have Rusev Day win the titles at the Rumble.
I forgot to greet you with the holiday at the opening of the show. Happy Rusev Day to you. But yes, it's possible the screwiness of the match lines up Gable Benjamin to get a rematch. But it does seem like it's going to be Usos versus them for a little while, and New Day versus Rusev Day, before they're going to potentially move on to championships. Maybe Rusev Day win them in WrestleMania, probably in the pre-show.
Probably.
Still in the tag team division, Breezango, Bludgeon Brothers. It happened, but this time the Ascension. They going to get their match. I guess it's a case of what goes around comes around. You know, you volunteer Breezango for a match, and now Breezango get you into a match, and it'll be great to see the Ascension back in the ring. I'm going to assume they're just going to get squashed nice and quickly by the Bludgeon Brothers, as everybody does, but it still keeps up the friendshipy angle.
Yeah, who knows? We'll have to see where they go from here, but Bludgeon Brothers are definitely got big things coming, and I really like their entrance. I've grown to really, really like the Bludgeon Brothers entrance.
I was going to say, so you don't hate them anymore?
I've come around. I'm fine with it.
Yay. Maybe the Ascension wins.
That won't happen.
What do you think? 2% chance?
0.00000000001 eternity later.
Yeah.
1.
Also for the men's Royal Rumble match, we got John Cena, Finn Balor, and Baron Corbin slotting themselves in. Who's the winner there?
Nope.
You're gonna always say nope. Who's winning?
Nakamura.
Okay.
I'm not budging from that. I've said that for months.
I'll keep asking you every week. Maybe it'll change. Maybe they'll announce Shaq for it, and you think Shaq will win.
Depending on it, so I can't change it.
Yeah, we'll see. John Cena, pretty much all three of them, as expected. It does kind of bring up any doubts of Baron Corbin involving himself into the US Championship match. Obviously, it doesn't completely eliminate him. We've seen plenty of times people jump across both things, but I'm not quite sure what's going to be happening with Baron Corbin at the moment. Not a whole lot is the answer. And then after SmackDown goes off the air, I believe, we get what is described as a basketball legend. I have no idea who he is.
Karl Malone?
Yep, he's a guy. He's wearing a hat in this photo.
Well, yes, he was a basketball legend.
Okay.
Alright. But he was also DDP's tag team partner at against Dennis Rodman and Hollywood Hogan at Bash to the Beach in '98.
I knew it sounded familiar. Didn't know where from. Yep, that'll be where it's from, because I've never paid any attention at all to basketball. So I'm going to assume that's where it comes from. I'm assuming he just lives in the area.
I guess, because he played for his entire career almost for the Utah Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
So, I forget where they were on SmackDown. But yeah, probably just live in the area. I wouldn't mind him being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Worse have gone in. It's pretty much what it always comes down to. Worse has gone in. Especially that celebrity wing. Biff him on in. What can go wrong? Rightio, well, that's all we've got time for this week. It's been great talking to you.
Maybe.
You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/WrestlingRadio, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/WrestlingRadio. We'll see you next week.